Hello there. If you watch the junk scorpion video, then you'll know that I was given a little while back a big mail sack full of redundant mobile phone parts, mostly phone cases and rubber keyboards and various bits and bobs. And after I've made the scorpion, I still had an awful lot left. Well, it just so happened that a friend of mine who runs an art gallery down in Cornwall, in Falmouth, said that I could put some stuff on display in the shop, possibly for sale. So I thought I'll make some new pieces, but with a sea theme. As I wanted to make these sculptures entirely from junk materials, I created a core for the seahorse from polystyrene, old polystyrene packaging, and stuck it all together with toothpicks and PVA glue. I then started to cover the body with bits and pieces from the mobile phone bag, and I slowly built it up until I had a recognisable seahorse shape. I then sprayed the whole thing with a black primer and then dusted it with a gold paint to make it look like bronze and mounted it onto a piece of driftwood. I was quite pleased with it, and I thought, you know what, I've got another piece of driftwood about that size. I should make another one, make a pair. For this second seahorse, I used a slightly different construction method in the fact that I didn't use so many of the mobile phones in the construction. I used mostly plastic parts from spray bleach bottles and other plastic waste. I did start covering it with mobile phone bits and pieces, but it wasn't all mobile phone pieces, as you can see. But again, sprayed it black and then sprayed it with a dusting of gold to get the bronze effect and mounted that on a piece of wood too. I now have my two seahorses. I felt like I needed a centerpiece, something to go between the two of them because they were like bookends. So I decided to make a whale. So first thing was carving a basic body shape from polystyrene, and then I started to cover it with phone cases and bits of keyboard and any other bits of plastic, different types of greeblies I could find. Here's a little video that I took at the time, which is quite low res for some reason. I have no idea why. I can't remember what I filmed it on. As you can see, I've covered it in greeblies, in phone keyboards, and I particularly like using plastic beads, cheap plastic kiddies beads. I even used a whole bunch of them around the mouth to sort of simulate barnacles. Again, the whole thing was sprayed with a black primer. I then gave it a zenithal highlight with white on the underside to create a sort of gradated colour effect. And then I added a little bit of dry brush with metallic blue to give the whale a slightly different colour to the bronze seahorses. The final stage was to make a stand for it, which was made out of an old wooden board I had kicking around, and curiously a turned wooden mushroom that I bought at a craft show that had actually broken. The cap part had fallen off, so I used the base part, the stalk, as the mount. Here's the finished whale, and here are the two seahorses as they were displayed in the gallery. You'll also see, just below the seahorses, some other little sculptures I made as well, which are of owls, phony owls. Anyway, that's it for this week's maker video, I suppose you could call it that. I'll see you next week. Toodle pip.